ask you that you keep a good watch over Junior and let us know that he's present with us.
Today on the Morning Edition, it's been 1 year since a 17-year-old was found dead, and the case to this day is unsolved. We'll hear from his family as they continue to search for answers. Plus, it's that time of year again. Cruise ships are showing up in Juneau, boosting the city and starting the tourism season. We'll share what people are saying as they hop off the ship to explore the capital city. And later, AI inside classrooms may be a difficult topic for some, but this school has found a unique pilot program that may be capturing some of the best potential use of it. We'll explain how as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. Another wet day, at least in South Central, Aaron.
Yeah, still holding on to that heaviest rainfall near Prince William Sound, but we are seeing inland locations beginning to tap into that rainfall as we've lost our southeasterly flow for many areas. Yesterday was a breezy day, more so in some of those higher elevations, while today will still favor some gusty winds across South Central. The strongest winds did occur as we went through yesterday evening for parts of those higher elevations. But rain showers are to be expected as we head throughout the day. 40 degrees is where we're currently sitting at, with winds for the most part remaining fairly light. But we will see those occasional gusts as we head throughout the day. So we've got heavy rainfall as you head out towards Prince William Sound. You can see inland areas of South Central. We have been holding on to some dry conditions, but as we cut off that southeasterly flow, which is our rain shadow, we're beginning to see that rain building into inland locations. Now, one thing we're going to be watching as we head throughout the day is actually southwestern and western parts of the Kenai will actually begin to dry out. So you're going to see ample opportunities for some dry conditions today if you live south of Kenai, where we're just expecting to see some passing showers. It's really as you head north into Anchorage, the Susitna Valley, and the Matanuska Valley, where we're going to hold on to that better chance for some rain as we head through the rest of today. So wetter inland compared to what we are going to see across western and southwestern parts of the Kenai. You can see over 2 inches of rain has fallen in Portage over the last 24 hours. Again, heaviest activity has been confined to the coast, while inland locations, we've just seen a few hundredths of an inch of rainfall. But again, as we cut off that southeasterly flow, we are going to see a better chance for some rain sticking around as we head through the rest of today and into the evening hours. And that will still bring that potential that some of those higher elevations as colder weather undercuts this system, bring that potential that later this evening we could see some localized areas of wintry mix, if not some snow showers in some of those higher elevations. Temperatures today set to warm into the 40s. We do dry out into your Wednesday, but an overall active weather pattern stays with us. I'll have more on that for you coming up in my full forecast.
A year has passed since 17-year-old Aaron Edwards Jr. was killed and his body found in Fairview. As Joe Allgood reports, his family says they're still waiting for movement in a homicide case that remains unsolved.
You know, a year has gone by without his laugh, without his smile, without his jokes, without his letters, without his, time.
Friends and family gather in memory of Aaron Edwards Jr., a 17-year-old who died exactly 1 year ago on Monday.
Junior, he had like this tennis ball, and we would go running around the neighborhood throwing it at each other with like a bottle to spin it and see who throws it. And Junior do it really far.
I remember his cooking, and it was yummy, and now I miss it.
Junior was incarcerated at McLaughlin Correctional Center, along with his brother, for car theft that they committed together.
Our son was supposed to be here still. He's supposed to still be behind those doors with his brother who's back there. They're supposed to be there until December of this year.
Candace Edwards said correctional staff informed her on April 23rd, 2025, that Junior had escaped. 4 days later, he was found dead in what police believe to be a homicide. Since then, Candace says she's called APD detectives countless times.
I feel like it doesn't take a lot of precedence to them because it was, he was involved in some activity that wasn't, rainbows and unicorns, I guess.
Still searching for answers.
We don't really feel like there's been a lot of momentum.
Remembering.
We just ask you that you keep a good watch over Junior and let us know that he's present with us.
And offering forgiveness.
Ready, go.
But whoever's carrying this around, that's a very heavy burden. And all those people who know, that's a heavy burden for you to carry too, and I'd hate for you to live your life like that, just give it to God and we forgive you.
Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
Aaron's family encourages anyone with information regarding his murder to report it to Crime Stoppers hotline or website, both of which accept anonymous tips. An update now from the family of the man badly hurt during this past weekend's slush cup at Alyeska. We're told 29-year-old Will Ingram remains in the hospital with serious injuries. We want to warn you, we're about to show you the moments leading up to the crash to help you understand what was happening. We know it may be disturbing for some, and we have paused parts of it. Now, this video shows Ingram skiing down the slope and hitting the jump at a high speed before he's seen crossing the length of the entire pool and landing near the end of it. That's when medical personnel rushed to his aid. On Sunday, his mom, who spoke to us from Mexico on her way back to Alaska, said he was stable in an induced coma and would probably be paralyzed. However, other family members disputed this information, saying his medical team is still working to determine his prognosis. And in a short statement, thanked the community, calling it an unimaginable time, saying, quote, "It's a tough time for Will, but he's a resilient young man." Resort staff said guests and safety are its top priority. It also said the longstanding Slush Cup event is planned with safety measures in place. That includes training staff and on-site emergency response teams. You can read the family's full statement right now on our website and mobile app. For Kelly Hunt's family, the search is over. The questions are not. Anchorage police confirmed last week that a body found in Spenard was the missing 19-year-old. Lauren Maxwell visited the site and tells us what comes next.
In a Spenard neighborhood, a roadside memorial devoted to 19-year-old Kelly Hunt is growing. The body of the young woman from Shaktoolik was found here last Monday in a ravine just below. The grim discovery answered the most pressing question of whether Hunt was still alive months after she went missing. But people concerned about her welfare still have plenty of questions.
A 19-year-old doesn't just walk out the door when she has college on her mind. She was due to go back to school within the next week, and then she's found in a ravine.
Family members say Hunt was on her way to a Bible college in Soldotna, but at first stopped at a friend's house in Spenard on January 6th. The friend said Hunt announced early the next morning she was going outside to drink with someone. It's the last time she was seen. These women question whether police took the case seriously at first.
They always tell us, like, oh, they're probably out doing whatever and they'll come back. But what happens when they don't come back? They always start when it's too late.
But Anchorage police say they started investigating as soon as Hunt's disappearance was reported to them on January 11th and followed up on leads day and night.
In our detective unit, particularly a homicide detective, has been investigating this case from the time it was reported. And because we investigate missing persons cases with our homicide detectives, we utilize everything that they have available to them.
These women say the discovery of Hunt's body is in some sense a relief because it means her family can stop their endless searching.
Even though this is not what we wanted the outcome to be, I feel like there is a level of peace that we have.
Anchorage police say it's now up to the state medical examiner to determine how Kelly Hunt died and answer the other big question, whether this case will be considered a death investigation or a homicide. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
You can watch the full interview with Chief Sean Case on our free streaming apps available on Amazon Fire, Apple TV, or Roku. Just add our Alaska's News Source channel app. Fairbanks police handled 141 missing person or runaway juvenile cases last year. Officers say if a child goes missing, families should call immediately. Police say they will collect a current photo and as many details as possible. That information is shared with state and federal agencies and put on a briefing board for law enforcement. Officers also contact places the juvenile may go, and police stress it is never too early to report someone missing.
You can call right off the bat, like the sooner the better. That's how we view it, because the sooner we can get on looking for them, the better. There is no time frame. I know there's sometimes people think that there's a certain time that has to pass before you can report someone, but that's not true at all.
Fairbanks police noted that every missing person and runaway case from 2025 has been solved. A portion of the Chester Creek Trail near Hillstrand Pond is closed while Anchorage Parks and Recreation gets ready for repairs. The department says staff found depressions in the pavement at the creek crossing on April 17th. After monitoring the area, officials closed the trail on April 20th for safety reasons. People using the trail are being rerouted to the crossing at Lake Otis and Northern Lights. The first cruise ship arrived in Juneau, and with it, the start of the tourism season. The MS Eurodam is the first of dozens of cruises to arrive to the capital this season. Tourism makes much of the city's commerce during its on-season. Those dollars have led to jobs, increased commerce, and revenue through sales tax. According to Travel Juneau, cruises will continue to visit the city until October 6th. We asked some of the travelers why they chose Alaska.
Peaceful, serene, the beauty.
Yeah. Yes, the beauty and the nature is just phenomenal.
Wildlife, I love the wildlife. I love the whales were amazing last time, the seals. I mean, the people are amazing.
Still to come on the Morning Edition, sometimes rescuers and those that call them are in the right place at the right time, turning a potentially deadly situation into a warning call to others.
Yep. Just stay right there.
We'll tell you how this young man was saved from falling through the ice just after this.
Wet weather still with us across South Central as we close out April. Of course, the heaviest activity stays confined near the coast. I'll have more on that. First sunrise, 5:58 Anchorage, 5:13 in Juneau. Your full forecast. Today's next.
Welcome back in. 14 minutes past the hour on a rainy Tuesday morning, as you can see from our tower cam, Aaron.
Yeah, and we're going to continue to hold on to that rain as we head through the rest of today. And even though we're holding on to this wet weather pattern, we have officially made it to that 50-degree mark. We were talking about this yesterday. Now, we did manage to squeeze out 50 both Saturday and Sunday. Both days hit right at that 50-degree mark, which is the warmest day that we've seen for Anchorage since October 13th of last year. Now, through the rest of this week, we are going to favor a bit more cloud coverage as well as those wet conditions, which will keep those temperatures a bit on the cooler side. You can see waking up this morning, most of the activity that we're dealing with across the state is taking aim right on South Central. We're also going to see some rain showers lifting north into the interior with the potential that some of that moisture will lift into the Brooks Range, where we could see some snow accumulation of a few inches. But we've got that heaviest rainfall taking aim on Prince William Sound. Yesterday, we saw the heaviest rain taking aim out towards Whittier and Portage. Today, it's going to be more so towards Valdez and Cordova, where we're going to see that potential for up to, if not more than, an inch of rain accumulation. But inland locations, as our southeasterly winds have kind of shut off, we are seeing that rain steadily building into inland areas. Now, the winds themselves, you can see, have largely died down. We're still favoring Palmer, Portage, as well as Cordova, those winds of about 20 to 35 miles per hour. We'll still see some breezy conditions as we head throughout the day. But as far as that strong southeasterly flow that we did see yesterday, that's not going to be an issue today, which is why we'll have that better chance for some rain to build into inland areas of South Central. If you live out towards the Kenai, really south of the Kenai out towards Nikiski, Homer, even out, as you head out towards Seldovia, expect much drier conditions, considering the rest of the South Central will continue to favor those wet weather patterns. So we're going to head through the rest of today. You can see that moisture building into inland areas of South Central. We're still going to be watching into the evening hours as some of that colder air undercuts the moisture that we could see some localized areas of wintry mix, if not some light snow showers, and this will primarily only occur in some of those higher elevations. Notice as we head into the afternoon and early afternoon and evening hours, we'll begin to see some dry conditions returning to the region across South Central. And then as we head from Wednesday on into Thursday, will be much drier across a vast majority of the region. But due to the nature of the atmosphere and that flow that we will have, we will keep some isolated to scattered showers in the forecast. And then by Thursday, we're going to see a plume of moisture building back in. This will take aim more on coastal regions as well as Kodiak. Inland locations will once again be up under that rain shadow, so we'll largely stay on the dry side, but we will see some increasing cloud coverage that will largely stay with us for a good portion of this week. So still watching about 1 to 2 inches of rain accumulation as you head out towards coastal areas. The Kenai, much drier than what we'll see for inland areas from Anchorage into the valley. We'll pick up a quarter to nearly half an inch of rain accumulation, if not some higher amounts. And of course, out towards Hatcher Pass, We'll also be watching that chance for some wintry mix, if not some snow showers. So weather looks to stay with us to close out April. You can see the second half of this week into the weekend, providing a better chance for more of that rain to build in. We'll see temperatures today warming into the 40s. Some areas could touch near 50 degrees, and that will primarily be in those dry locations. Again, we are drier into our Wednesday and Thursday, but we'll still keep some isolated to scattered showers around.
A scary scene out of Kodiak last week after a young man was rescued from Island Lake after falling through the ice. Jace Bertrand has the story of how neighbors and Alaska State Troopers being at the right place at the right time helped prevent a tragedy.
Yep. Just stay right there.
This isn't a scene from a reality show. What you're seeing is Alaska State Trooper Anthony Will rescuing a teenage boy from frigid waters. The rescue began after the miner fell through the ice.
And as soon as we heard that it was an ice rescue and that a kid had fallen through, we were just right around the corner, and so we both immediately responded.
Cassie Keplinger says she watched as the boy fell through the ice, immediately calling for her husband, Zach, who has lived near the lake his entire life.
I have never seen people go through the ice, but I think at least 2 people have passed away on the lake from falling through.
He came running down and I called 911 and he acted quick and grabbed our fiberglass paddleboard and took off running.
Keplinger says he ran into Trooper Will as he arrived on the scene, and the two made their way onto the ice.
When I showed up, Trooper Will was down by the shore and was trying to calm the young man down. And then I yelled down if he wanted to use the paddleboard. He said yes, so I brought it down to him.
And at a certain point, he stopped kind of coming further out there with me because he one of his legs fell through the ice. And so that's when we just slid it over to this child or teenager, and he grabbed a hold of it.
All right, just stay on there, okay?
Luckily, Trooper Will was able to pull the teen towards shore, where EMT was waiting to treat him.
I would have to say by the time he got to shore, he was probably in the ambulance within, I'd say, a minute. And they already had him ready, wrapped up in blankets and ready to go to the hospital.
An incredible rescue and a staunch reminder of the dangers that come with walking on ice.
For me, it was just a huge relief because I've had to save a few dogs from falling through the ice on the lake before, but never a human. So it was definitely a great relief to know that he was safe and in really good hands.
Any kids that I come across, I just tell them, don't go out on the ice. It might look like it's safe, but, you're going to break through.
Jace Bertrand, Alaska's news source.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.